All right, developers, welcome to this new explainer from our UX design course. Today, we're going to add a really powerful new framework to your toolkit. And this isn't just theory, okay? This is a super practical guide for fixing one of the most common, and let's be honest, frustrating issues in UI design, and I guarantee you've run into it in your own projects.
So let's just start with a feeling we all know. That split second where you click a button or a link and you get that sinking feeling in your stomach because the app does something you absolutely did not want it to do. It's a universal feeling for users, and as developers, it's a problem we can actually solve.
You know that annoying misclick? Our first instinct as devs might be to just shrug and say, user error. But what if it's not? What if it's actually a design flaw that we can fix with code? That right there is the mindset shift we're making today. And the best part is, once you can put a name to the problem, you're already halfway to solving it.
So let's give this problem a proper technical name so we can talk about it like pros. We're going to call them unwanted cues. And look, this isn't just some fancy jargon. It's a handle. It's a term that lets you identify, discuss, and systematically hunt down and eliminate these issues from your apps.
Okay, so what exactly is an unwanted cue? Let's get a really crisp definition on the table so we're all on the same page. So take a look at this. The keywords here are unintentionally prompts. Think about what that means. It means the UI itself is actively, though accidentally, encouraging the user to make a mistake. It's not their fault. The interface is leading them down the wrong path. And having this kind of specific language, man, that is a superpower in your next code review or planning session.
All right, so we've identified the villain. Now how do we actually beat it? Well, we're going to use a simple, repeatable, 4-step framework that you can apply to pretty much any project you're on.
So here it is, the whole process. Redesign, provide alternatives, educate, and monitor. Now, the most important thing to notice here is that it's a cycle. This is not a fix-it-and-forget-it kind of thing. It's a continuous process of improvement that should fit right into your existing development workflow. Let's break down each step. Step 1 is the most direct attack. Redesign the interface. You go right to the source. This is where you, the developer, can make a huge difference. We're talking about altering the layout, maybe adding some padding between conflicting buttons, or using color and size to build a better visual hierarchy. You make the right path the most obvious path.
And here's a classic example. On the left, you've got delete and save buttons right next to each other looking almost identical. That is just a recipe for disaster. But look at the redesigned interface on the right. The save button is now the clear, primary action. The delete option is de-emphasized, maybe it's just a text link. This simple change dramatically reduces the chance of an accidental and possibly catastrophic click.
Now, sometimes you just can't remove the problematic cue. Maybe it's there for legacy reasons or a small group of power users really relies on it. So what's the next best thing? You provide a better, clearer alternative path. You create an obvious, easy-to-use option with a clear call to action that guides most users toward the correct flow.
So what happens when your fix involves changing a pattern that users have had for years? They have muscle memory, right? Well, that's where education comes in. And I'm not talking about a massive user manual. Simple things like tooltips, short in-app guides, or little pop-up tutorials can totally bridge that gap and teach users the new, better way to get things done. And step 4 is absolutely crucial. Monitor user behavior. As developers, we all know that shipping the code is just the beginning. The real test is whether our fix actually solved the problem in the real world. That's why we have to look at the data, gather user feedback, and make sure our changes are actually working. And this is how you prove it. The data doesn't lie. You can run an A/B test or just dig into your analytics. A chart like this, showing a measurable, obvious drop in user errors from the old design to the new one, that's the ultimate confirmation. That is concrete evidence that your solution was a success.
So we've walked through how to identify and fix these unwanted cues. But what's the big picture here? What's the real payoff for doing all this? Well, fixing these small frustrations isn't just about squashing bugs. It's about elevating the entire user experience from just good enough to truly great.
And this is really why this matters so much. This framework directly connects your day-to-day coding decisions to the big picture metrics that define a product's success. A seamless experience means happier users, which means better retention, which means a product that actually works for the people it's built for. So now it's your turn. I want you to think about the application or the website that you're working on right now. Using this framework, what is one unwanted cue you can identify? What's one small change you can make that will create a better, more seamless experience for your users? Take this framework and go put it into practice.